Welcome back to another episode of Throwdowns, our, I guess you can say, near weekly segment where we discuss what we think is best, what we think isn't the best, and who is right and who is wrong. Obviously, I'm right, they're wrong, whatever direction. So today we are going to discuss a few things here. Something that is near and dear to my heart. I can do an entire episode on this, a full-length episode, but unfortunately we got to keep this to some sort of a time limit here. We are going to discuss the best Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. This is going to be fun. Very difficult for me. I don't know if you guys are feeling the same way about that, but before we get into it, you guys have a tough time with this one, or was it pretty simple for you guys?
I have a hands down favorite, but it doesn't mean that it's the only one I like. So,
okay, I'll allow that.
Yeah, I have a bona fide favorite, but there are a lot of them that I love almost just as much. So it was hard.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, for me, it's just I could go down this road with so many movies. I could, like I said, make an entire episode out of this, but I won't. So what I'm going to do, we're going to put 5 minutes on the clock. We are going to go through each of our choices for what you find your favorite Arnold movie to be. And then if we have a few minutes at the end, we can do a little round table discussion. We can put the gloves back on and beat each other senseless if you'd like. How does that sound? Sound good? All right,
fantastic.
Let's see. I'm gonna ring my gong here. Let's see what we got it here. All right, I'm gonna put 5 minutes on the clock here. And because I'm gonna be selfish here, I'm gonna take the lead here. Favorite Arnold movie. So many choices I could go here. I'm going with the best overall feel of an Arnold movie. It has action. It has cheesy little one-liners in it. It's also the movie where he kills the most people. He basically takes on an entire militia by himself, all in an effort to save his daughter, who is played by Alyssa Milano. And I am going with the classic called Commando, a phenomenal movie which really embodies an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. I mean, you know, he's very just like outlandish. I mean, one of the first scenes you shows him like chopping down trees or something, and he's like carrying an entire log on his arm or something, doing like yard work. And again, his daughter's played by Alyssa Milano, and she's essentially kind of kidnapped, and he has to go rescue her. And it just, all this. It might be the best movie for his cheesy one-liners, like telling Bennett to let off some steam. I can't remember that squirrely little guy that he promised he was going to kill last, but then he says he lied when the guy tells him, I thought you were going to kill me last. And, he's like, I lied. And, then what's the other one? I eat green berets for breakfast, with the guy that comes and tries to attack him in the hotel room. It's just absolute classic lines, lots of action. And if anybody has not seen an Arnold movie, that'll be one of the first things that I will tell them to go see to get a taste of what Arnold is all about. All right, I'm going to shoot it over to Scales.
I don't know how to respond to that.
See, Siri doesn't know how to respond to that again. She's I don't know what she's thinking, but she doesn't like my answer.
We have to get her a panel about our,
that's the second time this has happened. She wants to be a part of this. Scales, what do you got? Give me your top Arnold movie choice.
Sure. I'm not going to pick an action movie. I'm going to go with Arnold's first major comedic role. One of my all-time favorites. I know you guys love it. Twins.
Ooh,
could have seen that
excellent.
coming.
Yes. From 1988, directed by the great Ivan Reitman. Yes, brother. My brother. This is your brother Julius and your brother Vincent. Benedict, the Benedict brothers. I mean, come on, Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It's quite a duo.
It's amazing. I mean, two of my all-time favorites. I mean, if you've never seen this movie, you need to watch it. This is classic 80s humor. It's got a little bit of action, not a lot, but a little bit to wet your whistle. Just Arnold in a grocery store, needs his shirt's getting ripped off, and the lady that he's interested in is getting all hot and bothered. Arnold driving a car on two wheels. Come on, singing yakety yak. What's better than that?
Take out the papers and the trash. For you don't get no spending cash. If you don't scrap that kitchen floor, you ain't gonna rock and roll no more. Yakety yak. Talk back.
Thank you, Duffy.
So good.
Twins, that's my pick.
Excellent answer. How about you, Cass? What do you got for us?
I'm gonna go with the original The Terminator.
Terminator 1 to be exact?
Not T2, the original The Terminator.
Interesting choice. All right.
My
We're
favorite.
going to have something to talk about shortly.
So it's obviously been well established. I'm a big horror fan. The original Terminator is pretty scary, especially when you watch it as a kid. That scene where Reese shoots him at the nightclub and shoots him until he goes, shatters the glass and goes out on the pavement. And he does that that sit up, and you just see him come into frame, and you just see his head start to come into frame. Still terrifying, but a very gritty sci-fi kind of neo-noir movie where it set the template for an entire franchise. And T2 has the glossier special effects that still hold up fantastically well. The special effects in T1 don't hold up quite as well. But again, just the whole feel of it, the movie, there's a lot of it's very tense. You're on edge. There's a lot of paranoia. And even though Arnold doesn't have a lot of lines, to act like a machine is actually a little harder said than done. And he somehow is a more convincing killer than the guy who was supposed to originally play the role, who is O.J. Simpson.
One of us is in deep trouble.
Yeah. So yeah, the original Terminator is it's great. I've watched it quite a few times. I'm due for a rewatch soon. On a movie.
All right, good choices, guys. All right, that kind of clicks into our 5 minutes here, but we still have a couple minutes left. I'm going to put 2 more minutes on the clock here. Open discussion here, kind of again, like I said, put the gloves on. Let's kick each other's butts here. Let's go backwards this time. Cass, you got anything to say about our choices? Any other things to say about Arnold? Maybe his extracurricular activities. I don't know. What do you want to talk about?
Well, Commando is the stereotypical 80s action movie. The part where he jumps, is it from an airplane or a helicopter from God knows how high and just hits the ground running is quite something. And the let off some steam where he
amazing with Bennett
impales the guy on the steam pipe. let off some steam. It's just so good. And twins, I got to mention Scales' horrible impression of Arnold that one time where he said it like he was, like
my name is Julius,
like a 70s soul brother. Like, I'm your brother, Julius. It just didn't come out right. And Twins is like borderline prime 80s slimeball DeVito, which was
yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Ruthless people a little more so, but
Scales, what do you got? You got any final word?
Both good picks. I remember watching Commando in college with you guys for the first time, and I loved it. And of course, the original Terminator. There wouldn't be a T2 without the original, so it had to start somewhere. Obviously, T2 you may like better, Duffy, as do I, and maybe Cass. I don't know. You maybe see them as equals, but the original is amazing in its own right. So I can't argue either way. And one more quick tidbit on Twins. I just want to throw this in there. Danny DeVito apparently was some kind of executive producer on Pulp Fiction, and the main characters' names Jules and Vin.
Oh wow!
I read that in like IMDb trivia today. I was like, oh my god, that's awesome.
Little tidbit there for our folks at home.
Look at the big brain on Scales.
Good choices. Terminator 1. I have a special place in my heart for T2. It's one of the few times that I can say that I thoroughly enjoy a sequel more than the original. But T1 is still an amazing film. Arnold really doesn't have many lines. That was still when he was kind of learning English. And so there's very few things in there, but it's where his kind of like, he really started to take off after that point. And Twins, again, such a great movie. That pairing between DeVito and Arnold. which if later on you liked those two together, you could have also gone down the road of my least favorite Arnold movie, which we could get into at another time. I'm going to leave you guys all at home to wonder what that might be, but I just gave you a giant hint right there. Yes. Basically, all right, so that's all the time we have for today. I want to thank everybody for joining us here. Please like and subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so that you can know when we have all of our new material posted. We are now also on Spotify, so you can hear this in case you can't see this. And please also follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Technodrome Pod. Right?
Throwbacks, Technodrome.
Throwback. Why do I always mess that up?
You'll get there eventually.
I'm getting distracted. All this new technology, this microphone. I'm just, I get flustered.
It's a lot going on.
It is. So yeah, please follow us on all forms of our social media and stay tuned to our next episode. But until then, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
We'll be back.
Nice.
Very nice.